Hello and welcome to the program. Today I'm going to show you guys a workout program that you can do for the upper body to strengthen or to increase muscle mass depending on what your goal is. Here we go. The next exercise is going to be the clap push-up. Setup is the same as doing the push-up, meaning the hands are underneath the shoulders or maybe a tick wider than the shoulders and the feet are shoulder width apart. Same thing here, you want to make sure that the midsection, the core, is engaged, meaning it's flat like a board, doesn't sag through, or that you have the butt up. Okay guys, so next we're going to be having the dumbbell bench presses, and targets the pectoralis major obviously, and we're going to choose it with dumbbell version, free weights, so that we have much more range of motion. At the same time also helps you with your shoulder. If it like sticks forward, oftentimes the pectoralis major is very overdeveloped and tight. So this way, when you do it with a dumbbell, you also open up the shoulder this way and stretching the pectoralis major at the same time. So we increase range of motion and hopefully can also correct some imbalances. Okay, here we go. Okay, so you lay flat down onto the bench. Shoulder blades are attaching to the bench, and you want to keep the weight like on shoulder level, and you press upward in a controlled fashion, and you also lower it in a controlled fashion. Make sure to do it both ways controlled so you get the most out of the exercise. Many guys just push up and then drop the weight, which is what we don't want to do because we want to get the most out of the exercise, which means also during the deceleration phase. Okay, next is going to be the incline dumbbell bench press. This exercise also targets the pectoralis major, but unlike the bench press, now we also have more deltoid action in the exercise, so meaning your shoulders are going to be more engaged. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so we are laying flat on the bench. The back is supported by the bench, and also rest your head on the bench so the spine is completely supported. The weights are on chest level, and then we press the weights upwards in a controlled fashion, and also lower them again in a controlled fashion. Okay, here we go. And you can actually exhale when you press the weights upwards and inhale when you lower the weights again, so that the blood pressure is not going to get too high depending on how much weight you're actually pressing. Okay, now we're going to do the seated dumbbell military press. You can use the bench here. You can also have the upper body supported by the bench, or you can do it without the support. Then you actually have to stabilize more, meaning the core needs to stabilize the action more. Usually then you can do less weight, so that wouldn't be like a strength emphasis now, but again, if you want to target the stabilizers more, then do it without the bench supporting the back. Okay, here we go. So want to make sure upper body is straight, shoulder blades out, shoulder blades together, chest out, and you're looking forward at all times during the action, that the spine is always in line. Okay, then you take the dumbbells up here to your shoulders or shoulder level. They can actually touch the shoulders if you want, and then you press over your head. So, and then you lower in a controlled fashion. Again, overhead action pressing, lowering also in a controlled fashion. Now you're engaging the deltoids and the muscles attaching to the scapula, also stabilizing the scapula. So you have a really great exercise also to develop the back muscles as well as the shoulders. Now the next exercise we're going to do is the assisted pull-ups. We're going to use a Smith machine here, and you can use a physio ball or a medicine ball or a bench, depending on how elevated you want the stability requirements to be during the exercises. So if you use a physio ball or a medicine ball, then the trunk is actually going to be more engaged during the exercise. It's a little bit more advanced. Exercise is going to target the latissimus dorsi, and it's a great exercise to develop latissimus dorsi strength, especially for athletes who can or who don't have enough strength to do regular pull-ups. So this is also great if you're working with girls, because generally they don't have that upper body strength to do pull-ups, and also the core is usually not that well developed. Okay, here we go. So you can basically place your heels on the medicine ball or physio ball, whatever you have available, and then you flatten out the trunk. So you really want to make sure everything is flat like a board, and then you pull up towards the bar in a controlled fashion. You can hold it up there a minute. Next, we are going to have the shoulder extensions. We're going to use a cable pulley for that. So again, that we get the most out of the exercise in both directions, contraction, eccentric phase, and concentric phase. So here we go. It's also a great exercise. It develops the latissimus dorsi as well as some deltoid action as well. And you've got to keep the core engaged during the exercise. So we're going to do it standing, okay? Here we go. Now this is how you set up the exercise. You have your feet about shoulder width apart, knees are slightly bent, okay? Then you have the cable out here in front like I showed, like I have it here. Now you're going to flex the hip lower, depending how low you want to go. You can go to about like 135 degrees if you want, and now you're going to pull the cable towards your shins or knees, depending how long your limbs are, okay? Want to make sure elbows remain slightly flexed and all the action occurs from the shoulders. So this is here where you engage the latissimus dorsi pretty nicely and get some shoulder action as well. Next exercise is going to be the upright cable row. This exercise focuses on developing the muscles in the back as well as the shoulders. Okay, the setup for the upright cable row is you're basically in athletic stance, meaning your feet are underneath the shoulder, you have a slight bend in your knees, chest is out, shoulder blades together, and you hold the bar in your hand. Now, in this position, you slowly pull upwards until the bar is approximately on sternum level or approximately up to your nipples. You want to only move it up to this position so that you ensure that the humerus is in perfect location in the shoulder joint. If you go too high like this, then there's too much pressure on the shoulder this way, where the humerus is not in ideal position in the glenoid fossa. So therefore, we just want to move the bar up to sternum level or nipple level. Again, you slowly pull up and you slowly return. Slowly up, slowly return. Okay, next exercise is going to be the cable bicep curl. In this case, we want to do it single hand action because most athletes actually have strength imbalances, especially in the biceps, triceps action. So many do it usually using a bar, meaning both hands at the same time. But again, because of strength and balance issues, we want to do one-handed action. Okay, here we go. So basically same thing, you're in athletic stance. Feet are shoulder width apart, slight bend, chest out. You really want to be straight. Now keep the elbow attached to your hip at all times, so the elbow does not move away. Stand straight. You can position the other hand also on the hip if you like, and then you basically curl up and slowly return. Again, do both the upward and downward phase in a controlled fashion so you get the most out of the exercise. So here we got the concentric phase and now the eccentric phase. Okay, next we're gonna have the triceps cable push down. Okay, same scenario here. We're gonna be in athletic stance, meaning feet are shoulder width apart, knees are slightly bent, chest out, engage the core. Really wanna have the cable up here in your hand. We don't do one-handed action because oftentimes, again, we have strength imbalances in the musculature. So use this one-handed action. Here we go. You hold it and push it down until the elbow is extended. Then you come up again slowly and you push down, extend the elbow, and again come up, flexing the elbow slowly. Now again, this exercise we're going to be targeting the triceps. You want to make sure that the elbow remains as close to the body during the entire action as possible. Also, you can keep the wrist straight in neutral position, so at the same time you get some stability for the wrist joint. Well, that's it again for today's episode. As usual, opinions differ. What's your point of view? Let us know below in the comment section. A brand new episode will be available next Sunday. So make sure you don't miss it and subscribe. In the meantime, I recommend you watch some of the previous episodes. You should really watch them all. If you like what you saw, tell your friends. I'm sure they will appreciate it. I'm Philipp Halfmann. Thank you for watching and auf Wiedersehen. Tennis Conditioning TV episodes are licensed under Creative Commons. You are welcome to link or embed these videos, forward them to others, and share these ideas with people you know. Brought to you by Advanced Concepts of Strength and Conditioning for Tennis. Available at tennisconditioningbook.com. Music by Dan O at danosongs.com.